So not only are we dealing with an administration who denies the existence of white terrorism, we're also dealing with an administration who is feeding directly into the hands of terrorism in general. Donald Trump. Now, actually, I want to start back during the primaries. Early on in the election last year, Hillary Clinton said something that she took a lot of heat for. She said that, she claimed, and with no evidence, but she claimed that ISIS is using Donald Trump as a recruitment tool. And she got a lot of flack for it. And I don't think she had evidence at the time, but we have evidence of it now. Right. We have evidence now because the number one way you foster terrorism and radicalization is by fueling the ideology, by being the exact thing they accuse you of. And today, the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, he essentially issued a thank you to Donald Trump for, quote, revealing the true nature of America. This took place today, and it's weird in the sense because there's really no way that Iran can take some superior moral stand against the United States in terms of bigotry or the treatment of human rights violations, right? But this does not preclude Khamenei, rather, from being correct on his assessment of Donald Trump. And again, this goes right back to the reality that the more we fuel it with our own bigotry and with our foreign policy, the reality of it is we are doing the radicalization and we are fueling the very blowback that we have to deal with. So the supreme leader of the Ayatollah Khamenei today said that Donald Trump, thanks to the White House's new fool. I thought that was, anyway, it's funny to me, but it's definitely true. So he says that Donald Trump has shown America's real face. He said no enemy can paralyze Iran, he told an audience. And he also said that, quoting, that he seized on that. He said, quote, he says we should be grateful to Obama. We should be thankful because he brought war and bloodshed to Syria. And he's speaking of the tweet that Donald Trump sent out, the inflammatory tweet saying that they should be grateful for Obama because Obama was weak and Obama was kind to them and that they should say thank you and that he's not going to be weak. Again, this plays directly into the idea that showing bravado and showing quote unquote hubris, while you think it represents strength, it actually undermines your position. So this is what he said. He said, quote, we actually thank this new president. We thank him because he made it easier for us to reveal the real face of the United States. What we have been saying for over 30 years about political, economic, moral, and social corruption within the United States ruling establishment, he came out and exposed during the election campaigns and after the election. Now, with everything he is doing, handcuffing a child as young as 5 at an airport, he is showing the reality of American human rights. Now, it's hard. It's. I don't believe the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So this is not a favorable look towards Khamenei. But, just like Donald Trump has not been wrong 100% of the time, he's been wrong 99% of the time. A broken clock is right twice a day. And Khamenei is not wrong here. And it's a shame that Donald Trump has put us in a position that Iran can actually have some moral high ground against the United States. But besides the moral high ground on this particular conversation is the truth of the matter. Donald Trump is revealing what America has always been. There's a piece by my colleague Wendy Muse over at progressivearmy.com, which asserts the same sentiment, which is this is not a coup. This is not a takeover of the United States government. This is just a revealing of the United States government. This is the unplugged version, if I can paraphrase. This is the America unplugged, uncensored, uncut. This is what Donald Trump represents. And don't get me wrong, I firmly believe that Donald Trump represents an escalation of the status quo, a furtherance of he represents what my other colleague Brandon always talks about, the excesses of our system. And the problem of our system is not just the excesses of the system, but the system itself. But to be sure, Donald Trump represents a perversion, an escalation of the excesses. And this is what the world is seeing. Now, are we going to say, oh, let's play nice so that Iran rather can look at us favorably? No, what we're saying is that loud talk is not a sign of strength. Loud talk and a forceful foreign policy and the propensity to go to war does not represent something that strengthens the United States. It always undermines the United States because it fuels our enemies. It recruits better than any propaganda film that ISIS could put together. Donald Trump's language, Donald Trump's behavior, Donald Trump's unplugged reveal of the United States, uncensored reveal of the United States, is the greatest recruitment tool of ISIS and terrorism globally. And what can we say except the fact that we have hired a president who is openly as bigot as America has been in past times? Iran's foreign minister, Javad Zarif, said in an interview in a local newspaper that he expected, quote, difficult times ahead for Iran, now that Mr. Trump was in charge. The president, Hassan Rouhani, he defended the nuclear agreement. These are all things that are surrounding the same story. According to the New York Times, Rouhani defended the nuclear agreement between the United States and Iran. Iran is included, of course, in the 7 nations that have a blanket ban. And to be sure, the administration, this is not just a Donald Trump issue, right? Donald Trump is the face. Donald Trump is the arrogance. This is the ease, the low-hanging fruit is what Donald Trump is for the international community. But his administration, take Michael Flynn. Last week, he warned Iran that they are on notice. And this is not just him speaking on behalf of President Trump. This is from the depths of his ideology, which has been demonstrated in years past. His laser-like focus on Iran and the desire to have a conflict with Iran. So this again, now it's a terrible indictment on the United States for Iran to actually. For the supreme leader, to actually be right about what our president represents on the world stage. And he represents the perfect propagandization tool. Propagandization, that's close enough. Tool for terrorism.